Hi, welcome to True Creativity Within. I'm Lisa Agaron, artist, teacher, and creative spirit mentor. I first off want to say I am so excited you're here because I truly believe something led you here. Whether that was your creative intuition, maybe it was a curiosity that you've had all your life to do something creative and you're ready to start honoring that voice. Or maybe you're an artist that's been doing art most of your life and now you're craving something deeper, more meaningful in terms of your creative process, and you want to take your art in a whole different direction. Whatever reason, I believe that you were led here and you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Because true creativity within is really about honoring that inner voice, whether you've been listening to that or haven't listened to it most of your life, and really starting to do something creative in your life. And I'm not talking about going to art school, getting into an art gallery, selling your art, because those are kind of definitions that we judge or measure ourselves with. So in other words, I've heard a lot of people tell me, and this is pretty common, I'm not artistic, I'm not creative, I don't know how to draw, I've never gone to art school, I'm not talented. And usually that is the first thing that keeps them from doing something creative. So one of the things that I really like to teach my students and encourage here is that you were inherently born creative. And let me tell you a little bit about why I believe that is because if you were to look at ancient artists, I'm talking early humans that didn't have color theory, didn't have art school to go to, didn't have anyone teaching them how to draw the human body or flowers or a sunset. They just inherently, intuitively started creating art by painting on the walls of caves. And I truly believe when you take a look at history, much of the art was created for not only a spiritual reason, but to make sense of the world, to make sense of their world, and also to move them towards a sense of wholeness. So that's why I believe that we are all born creative. So one of the things I want to encourage you, and if you are feeling blocked or you haven't given yourself permission to do anything creative, first off, I want to say you have the permission to do something creative, and it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to go to art school. You can just start putting strokes of watercolor on watercolor paper. You can start doodling. There's a reason why a lot of us start doodling in high school. That's sort of a natural tendency to want to make marks. And I'll talk a little bit more about that. But one of the things that I believe is very, very important is that creativity is calling us towards healing, recovery, self-care, inner wisdom, and establishing a groundedness and well-being in our life. Because that's something that I know for me, whenever I was stressed or felt confused, unclear on where I was going, or maybe there was a major decision to make in my life, I always went to creativity to ground myself, to gain a sense of center, to gain some sense of calm. Creativity became the place that I could go to so that I could remember who I am, what I'm passionate about, what's important in my life. I would always go to either writing in my journal, whether that was poetry or just journaling, or maybe it was painting and drawing and doodling or collaging. So I believe that creativity is there for a much bigger purpose than just an art technique, a new project to create. So one of the things that you'll find here at True Creativity Within is you're not going to just find art classes. You're going to find opportunities where you can actually build and develop a deeper relationship with creative spirit and your creativity. So one of my offerings is my ongoing membership, the Creative Spirit Connection, where we meet once a month and I talk about some sort of life lesson or a new way to gain some self-awareness or connect to your inner guidance, or maybe create some calm if you're feeling anxious, another way to, de-stress. And then couple that up with an art practice so that an art practice can become a sense or a tool for wellness and a tool for you to go to whenever you need to reconnect with yourself, with your inner wisdom, your intuition, or maybe you just need a way to just calm your nervous system down. So I go over that. I go over a different lesson in art practice once a month. And then we also meet, which is optional, a few weeks later where we have a chance to reflect and connect. So this way you can talk about, maybe share any epiphanies or insights that maybe came up from the new art practice, or maybe you just want to connect with the other creatives in the membership. So I hope you will check out the Creative Spirit Connection. I also offer my 3-day retreats called Awakening the Invisible Power of Your Creativity, where we actually have an opportunity to carve 3 days out of your schedule, be taken out of your element and go someplace at a destination where you can actually immerse yourself in the creative process, especially if you just need some time to explore that aspect of yourself or that curiosity. And then part of that weekend is I guide you. I do a couple of different things. I do guided visualizations to help you get connected to your true creative essence, to get connected to that part of you that's been hungering to do something creative. And then I take you through these basic techniques like mark making, because mark making is something that is actually pretty basic in terms of what we do before we even start to learn how to write, we start making marks. So we go through mark making, doodling, watercolor mingling, which we just play with watercolor and watch it move in different ways and mingle together. We do some collaging too. So I hope you will check out my retreat as well. So there's a couple of different things here. I also have a library of self-paced online courses if you're interested in expanding your mixed media skills, if you're interested in learning new projects, you can also check that out as well. So one of the things I do like about mixed media, and that's usually what I teach here, is that it offers you that flexibility to make mistakes. And what I tell my students, we welcome accidents and mistakes to happen because that's when the artistic magic happens. So one of the things with mixed media is that because you're blending different things and you're not really trying to make anything specific like a bowl of fruit or a landscape, you actually have the flexibility to experiment, explore, be messy, be imperfect. So that's one of the things that I teach here, is different ways to utilize mixed media so that you can make an art practice or establish an art practice for yourself where you're blending collage, watercolor, acrylics, all sorts of different mediums, so that you're just simply playing. So I hope that you will check out all the different offerings here at True Creativity Within, and I hope that you'll find a place where you can expand your creativity, explore it, and not be afraid to really honor and nurture and nourish that creative voice that's been calling you to be true to your creativity. So thank you for coming by, and I hope to see you in a class soon. Bye.